Hey guys, today I want to talk about the Kansept shard. And before we dive into this one, I want to talk a little bit about Kansept. Kansept was started by a couple of guys that used to work for Kaiser. And you can tell some similarities between, just the packaging alone. A little bit different, but very similar. And there are a lot of similarities between the Kaiser and the Kansepts. And we'll look at it a little bit closer towards the end, but I just kind of wanted to point out as you look at this and see the video, you may be thinking Kaiser. Well, it's kind of like Kaiser 2.0 almost. But this is Kansept. So let's dive into this kind of unique knife. This was loaned in by a buddy of mine, Snuggletummy, and I think actually it's kind of funny. He bought this from Metal Complex, whose video on this just dropped, I think, yesterday at the time of filming. And Snuggletummy had sent it to me. It's just kind of a very small world. And Metal and I have shared a few things back and forth ourselves. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of funny. So the Kansept shard is a smaller knife. It's 4.5 inches closed, just a hair under 8 inches in overall length. The blade is 3.463 and the edge is 3.487, so basically the same. Blade steel is S35 VN. The blade thickness is 0.140. Overall thickness of 0.49 minus the clip, weighs in at 4 ounces and runs on bearings. It's not a drop shut, cut your fingers off, but it's super smooth. It really is smooth. So let's take a quick look. There are several models of the shard. This one has a very nice stonewash finished blade. It's got the logo on there. It's got the serial number, which, whatever, kind of lame. But blade steel and a really nice carbon fiber inlay. You can feel the transition. There's a little bit of, not a gap necessarily, but you can feel it. It's not a seamless transition between the titanium and the carbon fiber. This particular model has a really nice looking Damascus clip. And we'll talk about the clip at the end because, well, you know how I am with the clips. I always got something to say usually. Has a lock bar, steel lock bar insert, works great. Then they tell you here that it's the shard model, just in case you forget what you bought. I don't know, kind of lame also, but whatever. They're not the first company to do that, but I'm not sure why you need to put the name of the model anywhere on the knife. We know what it is because we bought it or we got it loaned in. The other thing that's not a super awesome to me is, they did a good job with the cutout. It's really, kind of chamfered nice and, it's a nice cutout that serves no purpose. It's aesthetic only. You cannot get your finger in here to finger flick it. You cannot get your finger in there, nor can you get your thumb in here. Maybe. No, you can't. Somebody might be able to, but you can't. The angles are just not right to thumb flip it. The only way to deploy it is to flip it, which is fine. I don't need multiple deployment methods on my knives, but there's no sense. There's no reason to have that hole in the blade. It just literally makes no sense. So, okay, whatever. Other than that, it's really a nice knife. Now, the clip, it works well in the pocket and deploying the knife from the pocket. It is a little pointy and it's not sharp necessarily, but it's a little uncomfortable at the tip here. that could have been rounded off a little bit more, much like this blade side could have just been rounded all the way off and it would have been nicer. I get it, this angle kind of matches the angle of the scales, the reverse tanto, all of that stuff. But it's a little uncomfortable here when you're sticking it in your pocket. The other problem is the ramp, it doesn't slide into the pocket very well. You can see there's a difference between the backside, how it's more sloped and rounded, where the front side is much higher angle. It makes it a little difficult to put in the pocket. It's almost, depending on the pants that you're wearing, it's almost a two-handed operation where you have to hold the pocket with your left hand and insert the knife with your right hand. Is that the end of the world? No. Is it an issue? Absolutely. It's an issue. I don't know what to tell you. Other than that, the detent is just a little light for me, and I know that detent is a very subjective thing, but it's nice because you can literally just hit it and it's there. You don't need to put a lot of pressure. You can just come in and just bum rush it, and you're good. Or you can just, kind of give it some pressure and out it goes. But I don't know, it's just sometimes when I'm just fidgeting, it's a little light. I don't like to be able to just halfway fire it out, right? It's either all or nothing for me. But they have different models. They have a model with Damascus inlay. They've got this specific model without the Damascus clip and just a titanium clip. There's a lot of different variations of this. And the price ranges is great. This one, I think this particular one is about $235 with the Damascus clip. With a standard clip, it's like $200. Well, for $30, me personally, I'm going to get the fancy clip just because I like a little bit of pop on my knives. But you can get Damascus inlay to go with your Damascus clip. I love carbon fiber, so that's what I chose. I didn't choose. I would choose this one if I was buying one, but fortunately, this one was loaned into me, much like this Kaiser. And we'll do a couple of quick comparisons just because, again, you can see some of the similarities with the logos just in the same places. This Kaiser also has the blade steel and a serial number. This one has the serial number and the blade steel up in this corner. On the back side, they have the name of the knife. So there's a lot of just similarities between the two, which I don't have a problem with. I'm just pointing it out. And I am looking forward to doing the review on the sheepdog because it's pretty cool. But that's a different video. I just wanted to not really compare these two. I just wanted to point out some similarities. So because of the lighting, let's do this one backwards and go with the Sharpie for a couple of size comparisons because we're starting to ramble on a little bit here. Sharpie, Spyderco Delica because, it's what I do. And we'll just kind of burn through some of these real quick. The Chris Reeve Large Sabenza 21, roughly the same size, just a hair shorter, a little bit thinner in profile this way, but actually fairly similar in hand. This one in your hand feels great. It literally feels great. The clip feels very comfortable. I really do like this knife. The clip is just a problem because for my particular jeans, it was more difficult than it needed to be. And I wear just normal jeans, nothing super fancy. So I think that could be an issue for a lot of people. So I just want to point that out. I don't think I would not buy the knife for that alone because it's not that horrible. If it was a bad clip, clips can be a deal breaker to me. So yeah, but this is not a deal breaker clip. It just could use a little improvement, but yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, here you go. The Kansept shard, really cool knife. Definitely worth the $230 in this configuration. So check them out. I think they're worth a look. All right. Thanks, guys. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next one.